go into some games if you like. So I know you've got lots to tell us. So
I got none to tell you.
some exciting stuff going on with games and into next week as well.
Oh yeah,
2 big guys.
I know it's like 2 weeks till Nintendo.
Nintendo is the 3rd of March. That's next week, isn't it? Like into next week.
It's definitely in the future at some point.
Sometime in the future, I think.
Sometime in the future.
Hopefully not back and we've missed it.
The 3rd of March is Friday week.
Okay, nice. Yeah. So we've got that and we've got this
Don't
game.
hold me to that. Nobody make plans around what I just said. That's probably wrong.
My wife Leah said she's been listening to our podcast. She
Poor
detail.
woman.
Yes, I know.
And she lives with you and she still has to listen to this.
She says to me, I think you want a PlayStation, Alex. You've mentioned it 4 times in the podcast, so I will be getting one soon. I'm mentioning it again.
As you sit there with a magazine open, PlayStation, just being like, "What? I don't know what you're talking about." Just rubbing it.
So with this PlayStation, this Horizon Zero Dawn. So I'm just mentioning this once again.
This is your Robot Dinosaurs.
This is Robot Dinosaurs. The reason why I'm mentioning it again, it's out on Tuesday here. It's out on Friday in Europe.
This Tuesday?
No, next week. So next Tuesday and next Friday in Europe. But however,
next Friday in Europe. Okay, so the 3rd in Europe and the 28th here.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what I'm telling people. If they're going to get this game, they already know what date it's coming out.
Well, one interesting thing is it's coming out the same day in Europe as the Nintendo console. Yeah. So it's kind of up.
And it's coming out March 3rd, which is also the same day Logan comes out.
That's what I'm saying. That's going to be busy.
Day.
It's going to be busy.
A busy weekend.
Well, while we're seeing Logan, we'll try and we'll hit on it later, but we'll try and get to an EB Games and play
some
of it.
Like we have a plan. We have no plan.
There's no plan whatsoever.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm mentioning this game is some embargo was lifted. So the embargo basically, press are allowed to play the game and then they have a review. But what a lot of game companies do, I don't think movies do this as much though.
Embargo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do.
Oh, they do? Okay.
But it's always a red flag.
I don't hear it as much.
If you put on an embargo,
it's not as common on game.
You shit a brick because you think your movie's terrible.
Yeah.
The last one that did it was, I'm going to say Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
I know Batman Superman did it.
Yeah, okay.
Like when they know the movie's crap,
yeah,
they don't want the opening weekend where all their money is going to be to be affected. So they release the embargo 1 to 2 days beforehand.
Yeah. Okay, so that happens with gaming sometimes as well. These guys had it, but the good thing it was a week before.
That's all right. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
a week ahead that just means that you. Hit the mic.
Oh.
When you're like a week ahead, that's exactly what you expect.
Yeah.
Because it's enough time for everyone to find the review.
Yeah.
But not enough time to kill excitement.
Exactly.
Like if you bring out your reviews a month ahead of time, people are like, this game sounds amazing. And then 4 weeks from now,
you kind of lose it. Yeah,
a week is perfect.
The good thing is it's like reviewing really well. Apparently, it's going to be like Sony's next big blockbuster from Uncharted. So Uncharted is like everyone just says like Uncharted is Sony. Sony Uncharted are like child,
2 peas in a pod.
So this is like a new one.
2 babies in a crib.
It's going to be good.
2 crabs in a shack. That's not one, is it?
Sick.
Could be.
Sick. But yeah, I'll be playing that. I'll be letting you guys know what it's like. I might even treat Paul to it, and we'll see. We'll get some like live reactions from Paul as well. But it just looks incredible.
It's got robot dinosaurs.
Robot dinosaurs.
I've wanted that since I was a child. Dinobots were great. Dino Riders were good. They weren't technically robot dinosaurs, but they were dinosaurs.
Zoids. They're fucking Zoids. That's what they
Zoids?
Are. Zoids are...
Zoids are Power Rangers?
No, they're like their own little toy where you can build them and then their necks moved and you can like...
Oh, yeah. I had
they were awesome.
T-Rex one of them, I think.
Yeah. There was T-Rex. There was like a Brontosaurus one.
I hit my brother with it, and that's why they took it away.
I see.
It's usually how most of my toys go.
Country.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, next week we'll be hitting more on that. Just wanted to touch upon the embargo lifted, and it was...
it's looking good.
It's looking real good, yeah. I'd be frightened if it was getting like 5s. It's been getting 8s and 9s.
If they're comparing it to Uncharted,
yeah, they're saying like it's going to be like a proper blockbuster for Sony. Whereas sometimes, like in the past, like a game's come out and everyone's like, "Ooh, like this is like a 6 or a 7 or whatever." And
so next Tuesday that comes out.
Yeah, so I just need to get a PlayStation. So
Yeah, if only in the next week someone will get you a PlayStation. Anybody. You know who you are. Get him the goddamn PlayStation.
What else we got?
2 controllers. Get 2 controllers.
This is something that goes in with movies, so I'll leave it to the end.
I'm just reading the list
here. So, what we got here? Are there too many games? like you used to have a 360, didn't you?
360.
So,
yeah.
And do you play games anymore? Like, do you
My
play
mate's
games on
got
your
the
mobile?
my mate's got Xbox One. I have a couple of games on my mobile that are just for like sitting around
I feel like
farting.
there's too many games. Too many games. Possibly there's too many movies as well, but there's too many games to play. Like, you just don't have enough time to play all
Same
these
with
games.
movies.
Yeah, you
like
just
if you love movies like me, there's literally not enough time.
at least with a movie,
I could
though,
watch a movie
2
every
hours and
day,
you're done.
and it still wouldn't be enough.
Yeah, but 2 hours, but movies that you really, really want to see as well.
Yeah, there's still hundreds of them.
Okay,
Like I'm talking like across the board. I think the difference between movies and games is nobody's going back and watching or playing a game from 20 years ago.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Mario, people are still
Your
playing
very
it, so.
favorite, maybe.
Yeah.
But there's not
But,
like if you went back and just trawl through.
Yeah,
There's maybe 2 or 3
I know what
games,
you mean,
and that's not because games are bad. It's just I put it down to games have less time to develop.
Sure.
At the point where games were actually every game coming out was of a standard was late 90s, I would say.
Right.
Everything before that, you were kind of relying on your big names.
Yeah.
So it's the same as like movies. Like there's not a lot of movies from 1890s that you're going to watch because people are just trying to figure out how to make movies. 1900s, 1910s, not a lot. Then 1920s, you start to get a few.
Yeah.
1930s, you get a couple more. And then in the 40s and 50s, everyone's like, oh, this is how we make movies.
Yeah.
And that's when you started getting the big hits and the classic movies. Like Hitchcock, all those kind of guys.
Right, yeah.
But with games, we're still in that very gestation period of, oh, okay, this is how we make a game that's of a certain standard. We're not making E.T., we're not making Pong. We're like, okay, this is the level we need.
Yeah.
And in terms of like the capacity of the computer, they can match it.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that is like you said, like if I watch a movie, it's 2 hours. Playing a game can take a week.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's the thing. You
It
can
can
sink
be like
so many
60 hours
into
of like a game. Or
and that's what I'm getting at. Is there's so many games, and like a game like 5 hours to 50 hours. Some of them maybe 2 hours if they're
yeah, exactly.
small.
Like 5
But it's
hours.
so
And that's
many
just like a
hours.
small game.
There's a lot of shit ones out there as well, but the thing is, with the quality these days, there's a lot.
And you don't interact. Sorry, you don't interact with games. Like if you play Battlefield, you might clear the whole thing in like 5 hours.
Sure.
But then you go online, you can play forever.
I know. You could literally play forever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just
And
like
with a movie, it's like I've watched, I'm done. It's walk away.
Yeah, that's what I kind of like about movies in a way. It's
Yeah.
just like, you almost want like achievements from movies. Like you watch it, it's like diddling. Like
Diddling,
you've watched
ding,
it all the way through, and you've watched the behind the scenes.
Well, if you like that,
So,
you like the OCD level. There's a website called iCheckMovies.com.
yeah,
And it's literally in the title. You just go through all the movies you see and you click it.
you have to. Yeah.
So when you went and watched a movie, you click it.
yeah,
And it just gives you that little satisfaction of like,
yeah. It's,
I've done it. Yeah.
it's like having a list and getting that check mark. Like,
And it's the same. Like they have the same thing of like you've watched 30 movies from the top 50.
yeah,
Or you've watched all the movies with Jack Nicholson.
sure.
So you've got that little kind of like, I've got 4 more to make.
Yeah.
And I've seen all the top crime movies from the 20s or whatever. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, so I just think there's too many games out there. I think the quality of the games is upping and upping. So there's really good games. There's a lot of shit ones, but there's really good ones, and it's a shame because there's a lot of work that goes into these, and you could totally relate this to movies as well. There's a lot of work that goes into them, and they just get missed because the market's just saturated. It's just like there's too much.
Yeah.
So it's like feel like when I do get this PlayStation, which I've just mentioned again, I just realized. So I don't mean to mention it again.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. What were you getting?
There's so many. Australia. I'm going to get it from Australia.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, just when I log in, I know there's going to be a lot to choose from, and I'm going to be like, oh, this is cool. Oh, this looks great. Add to cart. And before you know it, I'm going to be like, I've got 15 games to play. How am I going to play these,
Sorry, no podcast this week. Alex is in a fetal position because he played the game too long.
I think I need to kind of break it down and be like, when I finish this game, I'll move on to the next one. It's like with a movie. Obviously, you're not going to stop the movie and start another one, but I guess you can. It goes with TV series, Like there's so many TV series.
Like the Iron Fist one's coming out.
Yeah.
God, I'm going to check that right now.
Yeah, we were talking about that last week.
I swear to God, if that's coming out the same day as...
It better not be March the 3rd.
That's what I think. If
it's like a golden day.
2 years ago, they said, that's the day we're going to do it.
Yeah.
March 17th. Thank Jesus.
Okay. But it's pretty close, though.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Well, this is the ramp-up season now.
So, yeah, I'm annoyed.
But that's what, like you're saying, like that's going to be 13 hours that I will have to sit through.
Yeah.
And I will probably watch all of it.
Yeah.
You will probably watch the first 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And then we'll do a review on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, like with a game, this Dino Rider bought one.
Yeah.
What's it called? Like I forgot. The
Horizon,
Destiny, Odyssey, whatever.
I like it.
Yeah. Horizon, Odyssey,
Horizon, Dave.
Yeah, Horizon Dave Edition.
Dave Edition.
That's what I'm calling your PlayStation. Your PlayStation's now called Dave. So when you've got that on Dave, that's going to be what, 40 hours, 50 hours?
Yeah, easy by the sounds of things. It's like an open world, like deep game. So
this is the thing, like we're creating right now how your reviews are going to go.
Yeah.
Are you going to play that whole thing on that weekend?
Well, the thing is, you
still have to go see Logan, so that's like 3 hours of your day you have to put aside.
Daylight as well. So
hang on now.
With a game like that, it's hard because I won't review a game unless I've finished it, because you can't review a game otherwise that way.
Right.
So that one maybe gets a preview, so it's going to get like a thought. Our thoughts on it.
Your first hour.
Yeah, kind of impression and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but there will be games where complete all the way through, here we go kind of thing. But I'm not going to review that game if I haven't completed it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll
going to give like a big proper.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I don't want comments going like, you didn't fucking finish it, Dave. So.
What was that game that had all the stick a couple of years ago? Mass Effect 3?
Yeah, the new one of that.
And everyone's brains exploded because the ending was crap.
Yeah, that's right.
Like if you had done that and played the first couple of hours, you'd be like, it's great. Best game I've ever played.
Yeah.
And then it was like, you didn't see the ending. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But just going back to the whole too many games, like one of my mates is an indie developer as well. So he's had a good few games out. And I feel like, by having all of these bloody games out there, and in the shopping cart and in the store, it just makes shopping cart. You could buy like 5 games because some of them are only like $5, $2, $3, but it's just there's just so many of them. It's like getting around to playing them all. My mate's got a really good game out, but there's probably like 10 other games people want to play as well as his. So which one? Why are they going to play his one first, or they'll play his one last, or whatever? But it's just like it's just crazy. Almost feel like less games but up the quality of them all or something. But I don't know. Yeah, it's just it's an issue.
It does make sense with the reviews because I don't watch game reviews, but I can definitely understand how much more effort it takes.
How many movies come out a week? Like I would say games if you
I'd
were
say
to
an
say
average is like 2-3 movies a week.
With games, with Xbox, with PlayStation, with like
in
Nintendo,
languages I can understand.
With Nintendo, with Steam, like PC and stuff. I don't know. I'm just making it up, but it's probably like 20 a week or something.
Yeah,
and it's like 20 a week. And can you imagine if you and I were developing a game for three years or something, and we brought our game out? Obviously, we'd market it and everything, but then it got released on a month where 35 games were out. So it's like there's 35 games. You're just
there was that documentary I saw a couple of years ago. It was very good. It was on indie game developers.
Yeah,
I think it was called Indie Game.
That's right. Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's a great.
It's a really good documentary.
Super Meat Boy. Yeah. It's a really good documentary.
The 3D one.
I know the one you mean. I will know it.
Someone out there is shouting it at the screen. But it was very good because it was flat and then it would rotate.
Yeah. I've got it in my head.
And they're
all
colourful
as well.
Yeah, and they were all, like you said, spending 2-3 years of their life while working a full-time job.
I know, it's nuts.
And like that's the thing, like you could say next Tuesday this game comes out. You can't play it Wednesday or Thursday or Friday because you're in work. Yeah. And then on Saturday you can sit down and be like, all right, get the cats away from me. I'm going to play this game. And even if you played that game for 8 full hours that day, and 8 full hours the next day,
probably wouldn't finish it.
And then Monday rolls around, we do the podcast. You're like, I've only gotten past the first 2 levels. Like levels don't exist anymore in those kind of games. But you know what I mean? You're like, well, I haven't even gotten into the cave system.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everyone's talking that when you get to the caves, everything's going to be great.
There are people that do that at the big studios, but that is their job, is to sit down in front of a computer.
Oh yeah, I know that. So. Like you got those huge big reviewers where we talked about it, how one guy plays it on Xbox, one guy plays it on PlayStation.
That's right. Yeah,
they both play for 8 hours. Then somebody else comes in and it's his shift. Yeah, he gets the update. Like they're passing the torch, and they're like, okay, so you do this, and this, and then we've got these submissions and stuff. Yeah, and they're like, okay, and then they get his notes. Yeah. And he plays for 8 hours, and you're like, so after a weekend, they've had a full 48 hours of playing the game, and they go, well, this is what we think. Yeah. But that's insane.
Well, they do that now. They do it, a single person does it now. They used to do that where it was shared, but now it's one person.
It's one guy.
It's one guy.
I'm like, you're playing this game for 40 hours in a week.
It's interesting because I actually heard...
Interesting as torture.
That if they didn't finish the game, they kind of needed to. Otherwise, the bloody review is going to be late. So they needed to finish it. Whereas now, and that still happens, but now I think it just be a casual thing. It's just like, here's my thoughts on it. If you finish it, then here's a full review. But yeah,
Well, that's what you're going to do in the sense of like, all right, here's what I played. I played it for one day.
Yeah.
And this is what I
This
get
is
out
this,
of it.
this, and that bit here might be spoilers, whatever. And then maybe it's like, maybe one of the weeks I'll be like, holy fucking shit, this is awesome. I completed this game. Here's a full-on review. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
boom.
Because some games are going to be bigger than the others. Like,
Oh, yeah. There'll be small little indie games and
the
stuff like
the
that.
Injustice game or whatever, where it's the fighting game. That's
Yeah.
not going to take you long.
No, but there is a whole single player to it. But
Yeah.
we'll have a lot of fun with that because the first, like, you're going to be.
Yeah.
Are you going to be Superman?
Yeah.
I'll have to get the roster of people because I think there's some interesting guys.
But
in
even
there,
when Red Dead comes out in November, say,
Yeah.
and hopefully by then I'll get an Xbox and I play
Yeah.
it. I'm not going to tell you what the game is because
Yeah.
even though I will sit there and play that for 10 hours,
yeah,
I'll be like, well, this is the first 10 hours. And to be fair, most of what I did was shooting people.
yeah,
And I didn't really do much of a mission.
yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Totally.
But I can tell you that this is how I feel. This is how it runs. This is how it plays.
Yeah.
If you like that, you're probably going to like the game.
Yeah, totally. For other
I think
previews.
it's better that way. Like, I don't know why you would... I don't know, I'm shitting on your thing that you're going to be doing anyway, but when you review a full game,
Dare you? Yeah.
like, you're going to be doing it after the game comes out.
Yeah, well, I have to be.
And,
Because
what I mean
we
is, like-
don't have special privileges to get it before.
Yeah, but
So-
what I mean is when you do have those special privileges and you're doing, like, the big things and you're saying, this is the game start to finish, spoilers and all that. Why would you read that if you're going to get the game?
I don't think people...
If
they
you're
don't,
on the
they don't do
fence-
it start to finish. I think what they do is... well, some people do that, but I think the more popular, like, say, I'm just going to quote, like, IGN.
Yeah.
If they review a game, which they have reviewed this Horizons,
Yeah.
so they've given it a score, they've given it whatever they want. I think they gave it 9.3.
Right.
They've given it a little summary.
Oh, very
but
good.
In the video, they basically said, like, summarized it all, saying this is a great game. This is why you're gonna like it. It's got some RPG elements. It's got open worlds. It's got dinosaurs. And then they show, but they don't go like, your name is this character, and you will meet this guy, and then eventually he will die.
But even in the sense of get a movie review.
Well, it actually brings me onto something which let's still talk about it. But it brings me onto something with movies as well, and trailers and stuff like that. Like, because are you saying that it's basically like it's going to ruin the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I agree. I don't actually watch reviews of games. I read synopsis. I went onto that review thread that I was saying. So
Yeah.
Horizons have been doing good. The embargo lifted and stuff.
Yeah,
So all I was interested in was seeing some numbers, and I was like, oh, it's getting 8s, it's getting 9s. Oh, someone gave it a 7.
Yeah.
It got another 9 here. And then people that I really respect and like, I'm like, oh, they gave it 9.3.
Yeah.
Okay, and then all I did was click on it and go, what's their one word write up of it? And it just sums it up and says like, awesome game for this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's all I need to know, and I'm not going to watch anything else.
Right.
But that's personally me. There are people out there who want to see that review, and then they'll play the game. Personally, I think that spoils it.
Yeah, that's...
And
I
even
don't
talking about movies, one thing that kind of annoys me that my wife does is that she'll watch a movie trailer before we watch the movie. So she's like, what do you want to watch? And I'm like, say if it was Thor and we hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But so we got the DVD, and so we're like, what do you want to watch? She's like, do you want to watch Thor? And I'm like, maybe. So she'll go into IMDb and watch the trailer.
Right.
And she'll go, are you in the mood for that? And then she'll put Thor on. But for me, I'm like,
I just saw the movie.
I just saw fucking Loki and
Yeah,
and all that lot, So she's okay with that. But I guess it depends on the movie as well. If it's a comedy, I don't think it really matters. But a Thor, an action film, where maybe some of the scenes in that trailer might actually show you the end of the bloody film.
Well, I was going to say later on in the movie section, but who gives a crap? We don't have any plan. I was going to say I saw the new King Arthur trailer. I don't watch trailers, and I'm probably not going to watch that film,
Personally,
which
think
is
that
why I
looks
watched
awful.
the trailer.
I think that looks awful.
Looks awful, and the trailer tells you the whole story.
But it's Guy Ritchie, yeah?
Most people know the King Arthur story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was watching it being like, this is nearly 3 minutes. And
it is Guy Ritchie, yeah?
It's Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
It's
That's the only thing.
It's everything.
Guy Ritchie, I personally don't think the lead actor fits it, but I do still like the lead actor, which is...
It's like Jude Law's in it, and Charlie Hunnam's in it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
Oh, is he in it?
Yeah.
The guy that took... My mate can't stand him. Well, likes him, but can't stand him because he talks out the side of his mouth.
Yeah.
Littlefinger.
Yeah, Littlefinger.
And now he's mentioned it every time I see him. I'm like, oh, God, you've gone and ruined it for me.
I just saw him in... He's not in a lot, but he's in Sing Street.
Okay.
The Irish film.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix. It's be my recommendation for anybody who wants a movie.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Nice, funny little comedy. Heartwarming, heartbreaking.
Actually, just to finish off the gaming, Littlefinger's in a game as well. He's in a Microsoft game called, and a PC game called Quantum Break, which you might actually really like because it's got the cutscenes in it, like the way it tells the story, is actually live film.
Oh, okay.
And then it goes to the game, and the game looks so bloody good. It almost looks like the film.
It looks like the same.
It's got Littlefinger, and it's also got.
I remember when they used to try that back like in the 90s, and it just did not work.
It wasn't good.
It was terrible.
We're at the point where we can just about pull it off.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, just finishing off in the games.
No, I don't want to go past the games. I was just saying, like, with that trailer, it told me everything. And it's just, I'm like, I wasn't going to get it anyway.
It annoys me that, yeah.
So with a video game, I don't know, a game seems like we were saying, you put more hours in, you put more time in.
A game is more expensive as well, because if your Horizons is $80, like Canadian, so if the game didn't review well, spent $80, you'd be pretty fucking pissed off. Like, obviously you can return it within the return policy, but a movie is $20, like, or $10, to go see. We're going to go see Logan. We paid $10. If it's not that great, okay, $10. But if we both buy Horizon, we've given them $160.
Yeah.
And we don't like it.
And I'm too lazy to go back. So unless Alexa's going to do it, I'm not going to be able to bring it back.
Alexa, return the game. Start the car.
If you had I guess, like, it is a beta system idea I was thinking of. Let's say the first 15 minutes of a game.
Yeah.
If you could somehow put that online, if you could put that onto your server and just say, here's the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Do they do that now?
Yeah, they do.
That would be what I would think would be the best way of selling a game.
Yeah.
Because after 15 minutes, you're like, this is the kind of game I want to play.
That actually happened on the weekend. I was looking at a game. It's called Prey. Probably another one we'll review, but it's called Prey. And I actually watched the first. They said it was an hour, but the guy cut it up into 20 minutes. It was his first impression for the hour. So it was him playing, and he edited it together and just talked through it. And I was like, oh, that looks really awesome.
No, that's good. Like, I know that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, as the game company, they should have the fit. Like, I should physically be able to go from my PlayStation, go from Dave, and play the game. Like, they release the game as a 15-minute teaser for free.
Oh, interesting.
So, like, the
like
Steam,
a demo,
like a demo.
Yeah.
So you can just be like, all right, here's the first 15 minutes. We're going to release it.
It is a good way of doing that. The downside to this is to release a 15-minute game requires, like, developers to make.
That's not my problem.
It just requires it's money.
Problem.
It's money.
Okay.
Fucking money. Because they have to get a team to do a menu which restricts you. Shut the game down after 15 minutes. So you can't play. Nowadays, if you did play those 15 minutes, when you buy the real game, you should be able to continue from where you left off.
Yeah.
So you have to program it all in. Probably like a couple of weeks, month of work just to kind of get it all working.
Yeah, I get you.
And then if you've got senior dev on that, that's hundreds of thousands that you've spent on that.
Yeah.
But it might pay off. It might actually be like, people are... You don't need it for a game like Horizons. Everyone's just going to buy it.
Yeah.
Fuck, I want to ride the dinosaur,
Yeah.
But for a game that might be struggling, you might be like, I know people are going to love this. So
if they just
give them
get
a free demo, you know, so.
The system that's in place for games is the movie system.
Yeah.
Release a trailer, get your reviews a week early.
Totally.
And I get that because that was the big industry.
Yeah.
But I watch a movie, I feel a movie, whatever.
Yeah.
But I play a game. You experience a game.
Yeah.
And as much as you can watch the next trailer for Batman Arkham, it looks good. Oh yeah, but you want to play it.
Yeah.
You want to have it. You want to have it in your hand and be like,
totally.
Oh yeah, this is it.
There is an audience for watching it as well. Twitch. A lot of people watch games. Like I've watched many a game that I've never played and still been able to experience it and be like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea. I'm not going to spend $80 on it.
Yeah.
But I still saw someone play it and have some fun with it. But it's not quite the same. And also, there's a lot of people I've met which think that's pretty sad, like just watching someone else play a game.
Yeah.
That's like Gogglebox in England, by the sounds of things.
True.
You're watching someone else. The last one on my list, just going back to Microsoft, because I know you're a Microsoft fan. Is just they've said this week that it's going to be their best year. Their console is still coming out, that Scorpio Beast console. And they said they're going to have more exclusives than they ever had before. So they're going to have like all these new games. So 3. It's going to be Halo 7.
Yeah.
And there's like Halo 8 and Halo 9.
Gears of War.
Yeah.
What's the other one they have?
Forza, which is the driving one.
So they'll have 4 exclusives.
I'd laugh
Stay tuned.
if it was just the sequels to all of those games. Yeah. But no, they've come out and said that the console is coming out this year and we've got loads more games than we've ever had. When is that coming out? It's going to come out, I think, November. So it's going to be Christmas time. But they're going to announce it at E3. Which is in June, E3? I think. E3 is a huge gaming conference.
I know E3. I've heard of it.
I've
heard of things.
Pretty sure that's June. It could be July. So that's going to be awesome. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because I obviously a PlayStation fan, but
if there's
still
a great
still going
exclusive
for
game,
still going for that.
You have the PlayStation and the Xbox. We'll cover all our bases.
And then Nintendo Switch as well.
Except for Switch.
So we'll try and get down to EB Games and have a little go at it as well. So
we'll have a go of it.
Be exciting.
Sure. So lots of good games to come.
Definitely.
I'm looking forward to your review of Dino Riders.
Dino Riders.
Horizon.
Dave.
Odyssey Dave. Whatever it is.
I'm going to make a little plush Dave. Fucking Walrus guy or whatever. It's not Walrus, but Mammoth. So.